Hey, Shawn Mackey here from the Shawn Mackey Show, Chronicles of a Dumbass. We're sitting in the dark. We're trying to create a mood. We don't know what it is. We got some new digs going on here at Chronicles of a Dumbass, but I'm putting together a little promos, little clips that I'm going to use to promote the show. Put these on YouTube. I use them on Facebook, even sometimes TikTok. So right now I'm just kind of preparing for the show. I got a document up here on the computer, and I'm apparently not able to do what I wanted to do this way. Well, I'm trying out some new things. So with our new digs, see, my daughter came home from college and she just graduated here, class of 2025. Congratulations to all of the graduates from the class of 2025. You're on to bigger and better things. Whether you just graduated from high school, you're on to bigger and better things in college. If you graduated from college, you're probably getting ready to start your career, or maybe move on to the next level of your degree because you're going to become a doctor or a lawyer. Whatever it is, aim for the stars. Shoot high. Don't be afraid to fail. But what I got going on now is out here in the old man cave. We had commandeered our daughter's bedroom while she was away at college. Now she's back home. So, yeah, we're out in the garage, the original man cave. But this is kind of cool because we got a setup out here now. We've been wanting to get back into painting our landscapes, and now we might be able to put some videos together for our YouTube channel that incorporate our painting of our landscapes in our video, because, you know, like I said, I still got the old tripod. So we're going to start doing some different things here with the talents that I have here at the Shawn Mackey Show. I've been sharing my stories with you and putting together, well, it was going to be this week's show, but because of daughter's graduation, we got a party going on tomorrow. I decided to take the week off, but I'm adding to my transcript for the show. We've got the new website, and hopefully we can start adding these transcripts, and it'll kind of pull in a blog post. So we're going to showcase our writing in some of that way. We've been sharing our short story with you about John Franklin, He Who Was Dead, on the podcast. After we're done with that story, we'll give you and talk to you about our inspiration for that story. Like I said, the novel's finished. We're just going through some editing now that I'm going to kind of shop that out. And if that doesn't get picked up or purchased, then we're going to share that on the podcast as well. We're going to keep the show exactly the way it has been. We're going to talk about our favorite sports. We're going to tell you about the shit that pisses us off. Because you know what? Some people may say, you know, this guy just bitches and complains, but a lot of you probably bitch and complain about the same thing. And maybe people don't want to hear it in your life, and maybe that's where I'm at too. So screw it. I bought the podcast equipment. I think there's people out there that will get a kick out of how I present this stuff to you, because I'll be quite honest, a lot of you probably wouldn't get pissed off about some of this stuff. But it kind of ties into Chronicles of a Dumbass. I'm always telling you about dumbass shit that I did. And I've had a unique background and upbringing. I think there's people out there who may share in what I've gone through. So that's my people. That's my audience. And we're going to still strive to continue to look for that audience. I hope if you're listening now, you truly enjoy the show. I hope it makes you giggle. It makes you chuckle. It makes you think or feel that your life is just not that damn bad. Mine isn't really either, but just this is who I am. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. But anyway, with the new digs and the new setup, we got ourselves a nice little monitor. I'm looking at it right now because what I decided to do was I took the, and see now we got a motion sensor. I'm in my garage. That's my man cave. You can see I got a big Cubs mirror up there. You can maybe see a little bit there. My Bears man cave, we got our dartboard out there. Got all my sports paraphernalia, so that light's motion censored, and I put that in so that when we came home at night and we walked, we don't park in the garage, so we would come in through the side door and we needed light. So as soon as we open the door, boom, it lights up, because the only freaking switch we have is over there, and I've been too lazy to get around to running it up through the attic and bringing a switch down to over there, so I just put in a sensor light. And now it just came on with me moving around here. But anyway, I was going to work on the show, and I'm trying to, there it goes. So I have a docking station with our computer, and I found an extra keyboard and I got an extra monitor that I'm going to use when I do the show. Right now, the show is only audio. If you want to catch the behind the scenes stuff like this we call it the makings of Chronicles of a Dumbass, the Shawn Mackey show. And I know I flip those around. I do it just because when I'm doing a promo, whichever way sounds better is the way I go with it. But it is the Shawn Mackey show, Chronicles of a Dumbass. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple. The makings of Chronicles of a Dumbass, where I put up behind the scenes stuff like this with the video on YouTube. We upload those separately, but we're also, I believe, on Amazon Music and a few others, and maybe throughout the makings of this, I can check and see for you right now. But anyway, I got a keyboard hooked up, so I was looking at my transcript, my notes kind of, for this was going to be this week's episode. I'm just kind of trying to go in and edit what I got here, so that way if I'm able to upload it as a transcript, it'll be all, set together. So you're able to see these behind the scenes moments here as I work. And this is where the funny stuff's going to be. So you should tune into the YouTube channel, because I'm going to tell you what, when I use the computer, I feel like I'm pretty computer savvy. Like I can't write programs or anything like that, but I've come a long way for a guy who grew up without a computer. When I was in high school, we took typing classes, like legit typewriters. I don't know if you've ever seen, one of my favorite movies is All the Right Moves with Tom Cruise, where he plays the high school football kid and his high school football coach is a typing teacher. And that's what it was like. And I always regret not taking the typing class because I hunt and peck when I type. But then when I'm working on the computer, shit doesn't always go the way I plan. So then I get really freaked out and pissed off. So that's where you get to see the animations. And I keep looking over here because I want to see myself on the monitor, because I got this set up now. And I decided to move the recording stuff over to the big monitor on the side. And I'm typing on the computer now as I'm editing my document. So you get to see this. And I'm laughing because it's funny, I guess. So I'm just editing my document here with my Cubs notes. And this is probably, if I'm not going to do the episode this week, I'm going to recap this because it's happened. But as I move into the season, further into the baseball season and then into football season, I want to try to keep it fresh and relevant, So I think this is going to be a 2 weeks on. So I don't even know if I want to edit this right now. So see, you get to see this. And I've talked about this on the podcast, how my mind just goes bing, 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 bing. Because now that I'm thinking about it, this is great. But by the time I do another show next week, this is kind of be old news. So what do I do? So let's see, the party starts at 1 tomorrow. I did post that I was taking the day off, but you know what? I think I might just have to come out here tomorrow morning and do this show, because I put a lot of work into this. Let's see. Yep. So yeah, I think I'm just going to end up doing the show tomorrow. So maybe I'll re-edit. I'll take some of this from the broadcast, and if I can pull out the part where it says change of plans, we're actually going to do the show. So we're not going to skip this week, because I got to get this stuff in. Let's see. So I type a lot of times as I speak as I type when I'm putting my notes together during the week, just because I'm always doing other things. I got to work at the JOB, so I get off at 4:30. So then I got about an hour and a half or so, and I got to feed the dog. I got to do the dishes in the sink. I got to start preparing things for dinner. It's nice weather out now, so sometimes I might need to know. So I do speak speech to text a lot. So every time, if I want to start uploading these as like blog posts or transcripts to go with the episodes, I got to make sure that they're grammatically correct. Because if you know one thing about me, I'm a former English teacher. And this is what kills me. My God, I read these articles like Barstool Sports or all these Facebook pages, and, they pass themselves off as Cubs fans, Bears fans, whatever, sports fans, and you get interested in this link, and you click on it, and the grammar is just so bad. It's like you're reading this, and you're like, either this is being written by people whose English is not their native language, and you can tell that sometimes when you're reading their writings, or English is their native language, but they're just really fucking stupid. 1 or 2, these people just really know how to promote themselves, and they get their shit out there, and they're making money, and they don't have editors, and they could give a flying, flipping, flapping fuck that their writings look so bad. I don't know. But I'm a former English teacher, so something might slip through the cracks here and there when I'm going through the editing process, but I'm going to try to make this shit easy to read and grammatically correct. For a few years when I was kind of still teaching, I used to make these posts on Facebook and I called myself the grammar dick. So instead of being one of these guys who corrected you in your post with the asterisk and corrected your grammar, I would see what was wrong, and then I would go in and make my own post, and I'd say, "Dear people," and then I'd do the examples, and I'd try to teach them how to use it correctly, and then I'd say, "Sincerely, the grammar dick." So that's why I have to make my stuff grammatically correct, all right? And even though I'm sharing you my short story audibly, like you're listening to it, I write it, and then I have to go in and edit it, because, again, if I include it in the transcript, I need it to be grammatically correct. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of going through, looking at my notes here. Let me go in here and add handle White Sox as of this writing. They have 1, 2 of 3 in this series. Yeah, you get to see me like I got to talk when I type. And that's why I do a lot of speech to text. Because when I'm actually working at the computer, I do that a lot, either, and I do it out loud. And so I do a lot of stuff by myself. And let's see, after falling behind in both games to date, the Cubs provided the needed offense to take the 2 games easily, and they were pretty good. I mean, what was it, 13-3 yesterday? And yeah, yesterday was Friday, and that's where Pete Crow. So let me get some notes in here. PCA, some history with his performance in Friday's game. And then what I'll do is probably during the show, I'll just pull up the notes that I have on my phone. So I'm going to bold this up to make sure that I get to that. All right, cool. Now we're at woohoo, shit that pisses me off. Nope, we don't want to colorize it. We want to bold it. Let's underline it because it's like a title. And then let me capitalize the F because it's a title of a chapter-ish. So this is where we talk about the stuff that in baseball that pisses us off. And then I got my little notes, ba 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 ba. And then boom, that kind of continues. Ooh, I should do the Bears. But see, that's okay. So I don't have to. So I can do that on my show. So I'm going to do the Cubs news, shit that pisses me off. Then I'm going to do the Bears news because I got some Bears news. You probably, if you see this, I typed to text this one. So let's just do this. Williams not wanting to be a Chicago Bear. All right, let's see. That's another little chapter. We're going to highlight that because I just took out some stuff, but I definitely got the gist of it here. So because I did this in speech to text, I've got to go ahead and kind of read through this, put in some commas here that didn't come up in the automatic. Nope, that was a period. I shouldn't be doing this in dark. Quarter has to go to die. And I think as the Bears fans, we've kind of known this. Period. I went too far, so let's go back. Capitalize. Yep, there we go. Pops up now. We've seen what's happening with the last couple of quarterback draft picks that we've had. Let's see, boom, bam, bow. But the good news is Ryan Poles, let me capitalize that P, stood firm and said, well, let's say, this is paraphrasing, but I'm going to still put the quotes. Well, I'll tell you what, we're drafting you no matter what. So here's the deal, Carl Williams. We're drafting you no matter what. So period. So I don't need this. Nope. So I don't need here. Get out of that. Backspace again. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. This space, this. Put this in parentheses. Oh, nope, not a 9 because I hit caps lock. because I don't know how to type. Put that in parentheses there. Boom, fix that. Playing college football, comma, you want to get drafted in the NFL. What is that? Okay, thank you. Yep, thank you. Perfect. In the NFL, they hold your rights. Boom. They, what? I was thinking of having it out here, but I don't know where I can put it to either incorporate in the show or use it right now. I guess I could pull the table out a little bit, but it'll be like, yeah, it'll be like tilted. So anyway, that was my wife, ladies and gentlemen. I'm recording because I'm doing behind the scenes. So she's come out, dropped off my man cave stuff that came out of my daughter's room. And so, yeah, there we go. So, bye. All right. Let's see, put this because. All right, so I'm going to stop editing. I've made enough on this recording to kind of like include in the makings of Chronicles of a Dumbass. If I do end up doing the show tomorrow, I'll come out here in the morning and I will fly by the seat of my pants with this, I'm sure. So I looked over there because I wanted to see myself on the screen, but then my head's turned sideways and it's not really working out. So, this is kind of weird, but I don't know. I might get crazy. I got an extra monitor over here. I do have another monitor that I could probably hook up over here. And then I can just make myself look like I'm in this cool studio and get some photos from back here and then do all these little promos and shit for the show because I got to get some eye candy out there, man. I got to get you. I got to figure out what it is you want. I'm doing this show. It's because it's what I like, but I also want you to listen. So if there's something that's weighing heavily on your brain and you want an outlet for it, why not become a guest on the show? I can work some things out. We can do some things. There's some crazy things that can happen. Might take a little time, but I'll get it figured out, and I'd love to have you on the show. So if you want to confirm some of the dumbass shit I did, if you want to commiserate with me over the shit that pisses us off, and if you want to get some shit off your chest, bring it to the Shawn Mackey Show. I'll see you guys.